call the meeting to order. First order of business is, first of all, I want to say our director, Larry Slias, is not here today. He had some surgery yesterday, I think. Not anything great, but enough to keep him from coming today. Only because I think his wife wouldn't let him, but you know, Larry, he's a tough guy. But anyway, it's nothing serious, and he'll be back in order quick. So I'd like to welcome our guest, Dan Pierce with the Bureau of Reclamation. Our good friend, and I understand you'd like to say a few words this morning.
If I may.
And you're certainly welcome to, as long as you don't tell us how bad we are.
On the contrary, it's been a pleasure working with the board and with Dr. Blair and Chewy and Robert Rios. It's you guys really have your act together. So
thank you.
And it's very commendable. The one thing I do want to address the board with is that there have been some organizational changes in the Bureau of Reclamation. And I don't know if you're familiar with Ken Rice. I think Mr. Rice has been here before and has addressed the board. But Mr. Rice now is involved more with the operations and maintenance of facilities up and down the river, starting from Alamosa all the way down to Elephant Butte. And those are the divisional offices. The Bureau has a divisional office in Colorado, in Alamosa, Albuquerque, Socorro, Elephant Butte, and El Dorado. Our office is now designated as the Southern Water Operations Office. And they've got a Northern Water Operations Office out of Albuquerque. So we have a new manager by the name, a lady by the name of Yvette McKenna, who will be visiting the board whenever she gets a chance. And she's going to be involved with the operations end of it. She handles both the northern water operations and the southern water operations. There, in addition to those changes, Michelle Estrada now is involved with the allocation committee, and she's working along with Al Blair and Dr. King. But our operations here in El Paso really haven't changed much. We continue to meet with the EPCWID board and EP1's board on a daily basis and coordinate efforts to make sure that water gets to the right places at the right time. So if there are any questions, I know that you guys are going to go deeper into these changes, but I wanted to give you a heads up that there have been some reorganizational changes and that we basically, outside of upper management, we have stayed pretty much the same.
Well, we understand the changes. I think we've been aware of some of them. Thank you for telling us. The only problem I have with it is that they move Bert, because it would be like us moving Al or moving Robert or moving Chewy out of our picture. And for the life of me, I cannot understand the mentality in that. But having said that, we respect it and we will deal with whatever we have.
Yeah. Bert is still very much involved with allocation meetings and the 1906 meetings that we have with IBWC and yourselves and EPCWID.
Bert's been a real friend and a very, very capable person.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of knowledge in Bert.
Oh, that's what
a lot
I say.
of experience and many years of
just can't imagine
working with.
Why you do something like that, but everybody has their own deals.
Where is Bert? Bert is still in the El Paso office. He's involved with the legal, and he reports directly to the Albuquerque area office manager, Jennifer Thaler. And he's still very much involved in, I guess, the overall operations and more in the legality end of it and historical information that needs to be brought up to Albuquerque and regional offices.
But you tell Bert that we'll sorely miss him from the board of directors here, from the district, not just the manager, but we've always appreciated everything he did, and we'll sorely miss him.
I'll pass that along. You'll be pleased to hear that.
Dan, have you changed any of your job title yet?
No.
No? So you'll still be handling day-to-day?
That's good.
Right.
Okay, that's.
The same players are involved. Mr. Jerry Melendez, our new hydrologist, has just completed his master's program out of UTEP and now has a civil engineering / hydrology. And he's our civil engineer in the operation. Larry Vasquez continues to be the water master for the operations BOR side. David Garcia, whom you're familiar with, is also a hydrologist. And Javier Grajeda is our other engineer that does the projections and handles the daily reports. But otherwise, our operation is stayed intact.
Dan, you said southern, that's from the dam down?
Yes, from Elephant Butte down. Elephant Butte maintains its identity as a Elephant Butte Field Division.
Okay.
El Paso now is just El Paso office with the southern operations and a couple of people like Bert who report to the area manager.
Okay, Dan, thank you very much for your comments. You're always welcome.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
Anybody else? Robert, you have anything to say?
Well, I'm working it out at the lower level there. I wish you'd put the kosher and saltbush on Rosa's platter because she seems to be able to take care of whatever you give her in a real good manner.
Put that down, we'll look at it. Yeah. If you want a job done, give it to Rose, that's for sure. Okay. We have a set of minutes, or we have actually two sets of minutes, but I think we only need to review one of them. The other one had already been approved with no changes. And one we need to review is April 13th.
No, approved. That one needs to be approved.
Yeah, I said we need to review it and approve it. Excuse me if I misstated, but I wasn't going to even worry about reviewing the other ones since I understand all the problems we can take care of. So, the minutes of April 13 are in your package. You had it. Is there any additions or corrections?
I have a question on page 4, number 10. Under number 10, you have in bold, black, possible release date of project order. It says no action was taken. Haven't we already done something on that? Either the month before or we did it at that meeting?
We did it in March.
I don't have it. So
It says
it's
we did it in March meeting,
Yes.
correct?
Yes.
So
Yes.
that shouldn't have been there, right?
Well, there was no action taken on that one.
Okay.
This is no action.
I'm confused, I thought we had
Right.
one set we were gonna correct.
It's
Yes.
already corrected, Jim. I mean, it didn't need correcting. So,
Okay.
according to what they found, it didn't need any correcting, so we don't need to
Well-
review.
So Sharon, on that one, you could just remove that first sentence and just say no action was taken.
Okay.
No,
Yes,
That's not right,
that's not right.
I don't think that's right.
Okay.
See,
on April 13th?
We didn't do anything on April 13th. It just, yeah. They kept
Oh, I
possible
thought
release
that
date.
in the March minutes, that you'd gone back
Yes.
and read them, and they were different than the set approved at the April meeting by the board.
We
Well, let's finish this one first, Jim, then we'll do
Yeah, this was just real simple, I think. This is on number 10.
Yeah, just remove the
Just
first
remove that
sentence.
first
that.
sentence,
Just no action was taken.
right?
All right, entertain a motion to approve, that's all, Art?
That's all, yeah.
I moved.
Perfect. Okay, Indar makes a motion, we approve, do I hear a second?
Second,
Art seconds, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Now, the ones that you had in question were, where are they?
the very next tab, I
Yeah,
That's correct.
No, page 5, number 10.
right. And they went back and reviewed the tapes and everything, and we did do, we had done, taken that, like we had already done that, right?
Yes,
think. Or is that the meeting we did?
Yeah, on March 9th was the
That's
right
the meeting
date.
that-
Jim said we didn't do it, but or didn't think we had done it, but the tapes showed that we had, they just missed it.
yes.
In the middle.
So the minutes are correct as we approved them, so,
Well, but are they correct as you proved them? I thought they were not correct.
well, that's what I said, that she said they were.
Sharon, are we correcting?
Yes, we corrected on this and we added a resolution.
So we're correcting them now at this meeting,
Oh,
which requires board action.
okay, so they were not in the last one.
But in the last one, there was no action taken because,
No. This motion, on the March minutes, when we approved them, that motion was not in there, but now it is. Okay, now then we do need to reapprove. Or we need to approve it. So
Which is just adding a date.
just add that because it was
We're
left
not
out.
just adding the date.
Well,
So, okay, no, we're adding
Well,
that
the
motion.
text of the resolution as it appears now
Okay.
is what was announced at the meeting. Sharon determined that by looking at the video
Okay, so
recording.
we need to reapprove it.
So it's just a matter of correcting the minutes, is all you're doing. But
All right,
they
do I hear a
have to be
motion
corrected by
to
the board.
approve? Do I hear a motion to approve the minutes of March 19th with the corrections to make them correct?
March 9th.
March 9th, excuse me.
so moved.
Okay, Art makes a motion, and our seconds. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Took care of that. Okay, Mary's not here today, and she asked if she could present her stuff next Wednesday when we're gonna have to have a special meeting. It's fine with us, so you can save your questions till Wednesday.
Okay.
All right. So no action taken on number 5. Number 6, Rose
Good morning.
is on.
Good morning. We only have one tax adjustment. Property owner of the Red Farms and Development property. This is a parcel, 2.5 acres, that was known as a private right-of-way within America's International Center subdivision, number 2, an industrial area. So for years, we have been assessing the tax being the property was a private right-of-way. We did make contact with the property owner, they were delinquent taxes, they informed us no, it was dedicated to the city. After years of research, it was sold. So now, not only does the district, does the city or central appraisal, we all acknowledge that the property is a dedicated right away to the city of El Paso, therefore it's tax exempt.
How did that happen? The title company missed that?
No, the meets and bounds were wrong.
Meets
So,
and
nothing, in other words, somebody dropped the
So it had
ball,
to be-
didn't notify the city or the property owner that, that the
So
correct.
the surveyor was wrong.
And I have to say,
And the title
Kathy,
policy doesn't cover that.
and Kathy Oyster, our water breaker supervisor, was very instrumental in
You have to
assisting
do it
getting this cleared
for
up.
several years, huh?
Yes, sir.
Who's the surveyor? The surveyor.
I don't have the deed with me, but I can let you know.
That's to our behalf. Do we hire the surveyor?
No, this
No.
this is the property owner, they platted the property, known as America's International Center number 2. And afterwards, that right-of-way was dedicated to the city, and the city supposedly accepted it, but because of the needs and bounds were wrong,
But, yeah,
we didn't follow through.
figured that.
So therefore, we need to remove the 2008, 2009, 2010, 2011, 2012, 2013, 2014, and 2015 tax assessment, water allotment, accounting service fee, and penalty and interest.
Do I hear a motion to do so?
800.
800, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Miguel makes a motion, and our second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign.
And this is one of those accounts that we are pursuing to file suit, but there's no way I was gonna file suit,
No,
Yeah.
depending on
it's a
what's going on.
mistake.
Happens, it happens.
It's a mistake. Who in the world ever figured it out? That's what I want.
Well, looking at the deed, we knew the situation, it's just a matter of getting the correct people to correct the error.
That's pretty good to figure out something like that.
And like I said, Kathy was very instrumental,
Hmm.
very, yeah, a lot, because it was classified as a farm, so I did it multiple.
Right, okay.
Our next report is the 2013, 14, 15, and 16 El Paso Public Service Board assignments. This is a program we work jointly with Public Service Board to solicit water rights. At this point, we have processed 1,293 leases, collected 129,300 in processing fees, and we've collected $29,059.76 in billing for taxes.
Rosa, I had one question on
Yes,
the,
sir.
behind tab B there, that first report there, item number 11. It's got one of the 15 years, 15 in there. I don't,
Oh, okay, let me go back.
look at line 11. I don't think it's supposed to be.
Is this the accounts receivable summary?
Uh, Processing, leasing fees and taxes and charges collected, Public Service Board assignments, behind tab B. 2013 to 2016.
Oh,
I think that's
just a little
computer based.
nice catch there.
Yeah, look at these things.
Nice catch.
You better step it up, Art.
They're all 16. Well, they're all 16 except there's a 15.
They're all 2016 and 2015, that's.
Oh, I'm sorry, I understand, sorry, that's my fault, 2016.
Yeah, it just, I mean, it's a typo or.
Yes, that's a typo, that's my error, sorry. I'll go ahead and correct it.
Yeah, that, I just happened to catch that. So.
Okay, thank you.
Mine's pretty good.
Finds an acre in every once in a while.
Oh, yeah.
Our next report is the 2015-16 Lower Valley Water District assignments. We have processed 324 leases and collected 32,400 in processing fees and no delinquent taxes because Lower Valley Water District does not pay delinquent taxes. Just
We
public
sure
service.
simplify our life and make theirs better. Looking at that list of suits and stuff back there, all the ones that we could remove.
It's a lot
hundreds
of-
of them.
Isn't there a requirement in the 1988 contract?
See, that's what I was trying to think.
Yeah.
I'd have to look at it and see.
I don't think they have an option for, it's not that they're paying taxes, it's just that it's a fee. And we should look at
Yes,
that.
They don't want to pay the
we looked
delinquent.
into that, yes.
They don't have a choice if they're gonna do a lease. They don't get the water. So that's why the
Right,
contract's.
right, no, somebody has to pay the tax.
Right.
No, we know that, but what they're doing is making the landowners do it. The Public Service Board is paying the taxes in arrears
Well, I know.
and paying them the fee, it may take, you know, so.
Right, no, I understand that, so, but you're leasing the water, and now are we delivering any water in
Yes,
these?
sir. To
Yeah,
Lower
so
Valley
we
Water
can't until,
District.
Till the tax.
Jim, maybe you can explain better than me.
No, these here that are in this report, the taxes haven't been paid.
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay.
Yes.
I know, all I was looking at is all the lawsuits back there. all the
Oh,
different
yeah,
filings.
okay, I understand.
Yeah, you could clear that out.
Yeah, they have to,
Yes.
okay, so we're not basically, we're not waiving any taxes.
No.
Since the contract says that they want the water, then somehow.
Right, but they make the landowner do it, with the Public Service Board will bid it for them. Yeah, I'm like,
I like to worry about it.
I guess they don't want the water that much,
evidently not. Sounds like a good deal to me, to have the water in perpetuity, basically.
Yeah, it's, you roll it into the lease,
Yeah.
like the Public Service Board does, and it's all one package. That's why the contracts are.
Like huge amount of growth down here, it looked to me like they whenever was dropped, they could get. And we would simplify our life.
Our next report is the comparison between the 2014 and 2015 tax years. If you go to the bottom, look at May 2015, we were at 96.5981%. We are now, May 2016, at 97.3575%.
Head of the game, all right.
Yes, sir, we're ahead of the game. And we're going to be contacting water users to let them know that
Wow.
there's limit on irrigation so that they can take advantage.
I'd be willing to bet you if Lower Valley would step up and do what they're supposed to be, we'd be 99.8.
Oh, yes, I agree with you.
Where were we in our worst? Just curious.
At our worst,
Just an idea.
That was before
I
your
didn't know
time.
how good,
I
I'd like to know how good we have done, or you have.
well, I can tell, I remember the highest I've
Come
had
on,
was
you can brag.
98%,
How much?
98%
Okay,
since I've been here.
okay.
I would have to go back and look and see
But
what
how
our
was it
worst
5 years
was.
ago, 10 years ago?
But the amount of money that
I can
was
find
there
out for
was.
you.
I'm curious, let me know.
I don't know, the best I've got is about when we took it over with Pfeiffer, it was like, it was like 73%.
Okay.
Yeah, it was way down there, and then the contracts that we made with the city and all is what's really
Yeah.
helped that a hell of a lot, and if we could get the.
And initially on, the 88 contract with Lower Valley was doing that, I remember, we cleaned up a lot, so that was when all this stuff came, that would have been, what, 81 or something?
Long gone,
I just wanted to just,
before I was on the board.
just for the record,
This was
'cause
like the first year you
sometimes,
came on,
sometimes
he
we
straightened it
don't,
out.
I just wanna say, Joe, sometimes we don't give ourselves enough credit.
Yeah.
Just keep
It
chugging.
was pretty low when I had to do the research on it.
That little program has really helped, and of course, Rose administering it is great.
Rose, I have a question. This says tax assessment.
Yes, sir.
Is that the base tax or is that the water assessment?
It is all the assessment, all, it would be
Whatever it is,
the water
everything.
allotment, it would be the county service fee, it would also be, if there's any, a water allotment, a county service fee, so it would be the base.
Any
sorry?
charge.
It would be tax assessment, the water charges,
Well, but see,
allotment, and a county
tax
service fee.
assessment doesn't exist. That's a term that doesn't exist anywhere. We have our basic taxes, which are the benefit basis taxes, which everybody pays if they own land that's theirs,
Yes,
okay? Then you get, if you order water on top of it, you pay an assessment. A water assessment is what the Texas Water Code talks about. Okay, so all I'm saying is, which is it? Is it water or is it base tax?
it's
Or
all of
both?
them, so what I can do is change the title to read tax assessment and,
Don't ever accuse me of
But
nitpicking.
tax assessment doesn't exist.
I'm sorry?
Assessment is a term that doesn't appear. Remember, you have the ratio, you have the statutes that have the ratio,
Yes,
as between water assessment. Water assessment is based on water actually used.
yes,
Okay. The fixed benefit basis tax, which is the same per acre, is set by the board every year. Okay. So if you're talking about taxes, I just say taxes.
okay,
Wouldn't say tax assessment,
okay.
and I'd say water assessment. I wouldn't blur them together because for many reasons, it makes it very difficult to comply with the state statute.
Okay, I can go ahead and correct the title to reflect all charges.
Okay,
And
Spear, don't
assessments.
ever accuse me of nitpicking, Spear, okay?
You train.
I trained you. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. And the tax seasons keep going on. That's an interesting list if you want to ever take the time to look through that.
We cleaned up a lot of that dead wood though, Rose, at least now every one of these is pending or taken care of.
Yes, sir.
or
Yeah, we have,
It's easier for me to understand and read it, yeah.
Oh, if I can go back to the comparison for Mr. Peron, I just wanted to point this out, at the bottom of the report, it shows the total of the 2013 assessment for taxes, for allotment, accounting service fee. We were at 98.111 when we finished that tax rate.
Great.
So my goal is to beat that percentage.
John, keep it up.
Run for the board of the Lower Valley and maybe you can get.
And you already beat it. Look at November of 2015.
Yes, I saw that.
You already beat
I saw it.
it.
Yes. Our next report is our tax suits. We have 171 suits. Of those ones, 171, there's 69 that have been paid in full, but pending non-suit. And that means that they pay all of their taxes and their court fees. That's when they're non-suit. Now, as
Does
of
that mean
this,
they'll be removed?
yes, sir, they'll be removed. Last month, we did get 3 accounts notification they've been non-suited. So that 171 will be reduced by 3.
Now, just for the record,
Yes, sir.
we didn't initiate those suits. We're a party to the suit.
Correct.
We are, technically, I think we are intervenors in the
Yes,
suit.
sir. You're correct.
Who's not in the city?
It could
City
be
level.
the city, the county, yes. And we have the same law firm, so they notify us, and we intervene if there's any outstanding taxes.
Okay. Any other questions of Rose? Good job as always. Thank you, Rose.
Thank you.
All right, item number 7, general manager's report.
Okay, under item A, the county will give us their final numbers to the election on Monday afternoon. And then we need to canvass, the board needs to canvass the election. So we're requesting that we either meet on the 17th or 18th. I understand that the 17th, it might be a bad day for Mr. Ceballos. So I would ask the board to maybe consider the 18th. I spoke with Mr. Ivy, he's all right with it.
8:30, if you can get me through, I got a 10:30 appointment on the west side of El Paso. Are we gonna do it in an hour?
Yes,
You
it
don't ask too
won't
many
take that
questions.
long.
If I don't ask you any questions.
You have to say those? You know, you're all right.
Okay.
So it'll be three of you, it'll be yourself, Mr. Ivy, Mr. Singh, and Mr. Ceballos.
Okay,
Because I'm not gonna be
You
here.
get a quorum,
I don't
okay.
think I'm
I
gonna
got
be
you.
here.
Okay.
I'm not-
that's all right, next week.
So we'll set that for 8:30.
Do we need a resolution to that fact?
Need a motion?
Or just call it out on the, I don't think we need a resolution.
You will at the meeting, but not.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
know that,
not now.
but we just need
Right,
to call a
special
meeting.
meeting, okay.
So we'll need to get that filed today, sure.
You're gonna set the meeting right now.
Right.
But we don't need a resolution for it.
Yeah.
Right.
We're gonna need to be the 18th then.
At 8:30. Okay.
And then at that meeting, we can go over financials, or I don't know if you all want to wait till the next board meeting where all of you are here for the financials. We could do it either way.
Well, you don't all have to look at me, I just probably do it better for
I'm
the
not
whole
gonna be here,
board.
look at you.
Well, I don't mind doing it that day too.
It'll be
I'll
a
just-
time
yeah, I just gotta, yeah, we can do that, it won't take that long. Sure. Well, will that involve adjusting the budget, and I know that's in the package. We
Yes.
may wanna wait then.
For the
if
whole
we
board.
can, for the whole board, look at it, but, yeah. Just wait.
May I mention that on the 19th, we have a hearing in front of special commissioners on the condemnation against the district filed by Comanche Pipeline, and I'll be deeply involved in preparation for that hearing on the 18th, and therefore I would request leave of the board not to appear for this meeting if you do set it on the 18th.
Certainly, you'll get to it in an hour now.
Yeah.
Well, you know, as far as the budget, Jay, we can probably go ahead and approve that too, if that meeting.
Okay, whatever you'd like.
Yeah.
Just
Let's
let
go
me
ahead
know
and
now,
run.
so.
It won't take that long, let's run that through so that Mary's ready for it.
All right.
Yeah, she's ready for it already. We've already talked to her about some of the things.
Okay.
Yes.
And she's ready, so, and I may be here Wednesday.
Okay.
Okay, then item B, this was a request of board member Mr. Teran that we change the board meetings to Friday for the next 6 months. And we briefly talked about it last month, and you all requested that an item be placed on the agenda in regards to that, so.
We don't need a resolution to do that, we just call a meeting.
The only,
The thing that came out through our council, so that's why I can bring it up.
Do we need to have a resolution changing the meeting for 6 months on Friday? Or
Well, it's your
just
regular
call it
meeting.
our
You're
regular
gonna call the meetings each month?
On the second Friday.
On the second Friday of each month for 6
What
months.
I'm saying is, you don't have any, unless you pass a resolution today, you don't have any.
Okay, so we need to pass a resolution.
Yeah, either way, you could call it every time.
What do you want to have it call it a special meeting, or if we make a resolution to do that, then we'd have to have a resolution later to change it. Let's just call it on every Friday, it may change, I mean, you never know something like that. Let's just call it.
we'll schedule it
Schedule it this, not until we forget it.
unless there's a change.
Okay. And we'll call it for that, and then we'll go back, and then if it changes with McGill, then we'll change it to the right time. Okay.
Okay, item C, since this subject has turned into a lawsuit between EPCWID and New Mexico, can we move that to the closed?
Yes.
Okay, and that's all I had, unless you all have any questions. Robert will be addressing the what operations and things going on in the orders and how we stand, and so will Al, so we can discuss that when we get to that point.
District Engineer, you're on.
We've got our first allocation charges, Robert and I finished those up yesterday. Upper Valley, of course, we all understood in this situation, we're suffering all the losses from the heading at Mesilla all the way through the system, so, I don't know how many acre feet you delivered, or the Upper Valley, do you have the number, but.
We delivered up there, say, 750 feet. 750 acre feet.
For everybody in Upper Valley?
And the Upper Valley.
And so we're running at about 90% loss in Upper Valley. It's a little higher than you'd like today. Yeah.
You're not doing very good, Rose is 98%, right?
Yeah, she's at efficiency, we're at 10% efficiency. Yeah, we got a long ways to get to it.
I mean, that's standard, she sets the
90%
bar.
gain, ours is 90% loss.
Rose is doing her job.
Yeah.
So,
That's,
Yeah, Robert,
we cut off before you can.
yeah, we shut down because of this problem. We've been shutting it down when we're not, because there's right about sundown, it changes. The efficiency goes really, yeah, it changes pretty dramatically. So I was hoping that'd be a
The
little
sun
bit.
has a lot of effect on things.
What's the ultimate solution? Shot Creek?
Shot Creek, yeah.
You know what?
Locks.
I don't know, we're gonna talk about, I guess at the next board meeting, we have the 5-year plan and about capital improvements, and I talked to EPCWID on their wasteway, you know, they're putting in more diversion points, they're trying to increase their efficiency. We tried doing that, it was just unmanageable because of, the configuration, and we had to make it permanent. It was a test to see if it would work. Part of it succeeded, we were able to do it, but it was too expensive. But the biggest problem that shut us down was trash, by far. So, you know, and they don't have that much trash up where they're working right now. But we're gonna show you some of the things we're proposed for trash management, and we might still be able to do something up there. But, you know, all this loss, Robert, you tell me, all this loss has gotta be from the heading. 80% of the 90% loss is from the heading to the La Union East.
Right. We're bringing in 160 feet and we're losing about 80 of it. 80 acre feet a day.
Well, that's 50%.
Yeah, but they just told me only delivered.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, because he didn't charge enough.
And one year we had 101% efficiency.
You know, the thing is, to me, someday this drought's gonna be over, but any installation that we put in up there, would it still be usable and worthwhile if we didn't have?
I think it's always better to, you know, when EPCWID's on board, it's a non-issue, right?
None
Yeah. So,
But that's what I say, if
We'd
we
have to
ever
mod-
get back to full allotment, including them too.
yeah. I don't think we'll ever get back.
Oh, well, you better not say that. Strike that from the record.
Well, no, you just look at the changes there and the climate changes.
No, I don't wanna look at them. Be optimistic.
I mean, all those early snow melts and stuff, those things we've never seen those.
Yeah, but it goes through cycles for a long time. They never thought it'd ever get there, went 20-something years that way before.
No, I understand that. I mean, I'm looking back at the long-term records, but I just think the way we operate the river's not gonna, even if we were to go back, unless the reservoir
It'll
fills up.
still be a
we're spilling it.
benefit, that's
Yeah,
all.
I think everybody's gonna be much more, even if the reservoir fills, we're gonna go into much more conservation mode much earlier. And EPCWID's gonna wanna turn on later all the time. I mean, you just see that, right? There's so much resistance. getting those
Yeah.
Want to turn on what? Did you
But
say?
they don't wanna release till
No,
later.
because they don't wanna use all the water, if they had the water, they don't.
That's what created this, that if EPCWID had come on when we came on, there wouldn't be an issue, when we talked about this. So.
Well, they, you know, there's a lot of reason for that, but.
They did not turn on at any day of the.
No, they haven't, they're still not, they
They're still
won't.
just in the hatch area, and we thought, or they thought that they've been getting a lot of pressure to turn on now. And Wednesday's board meeting, they thought that maybe the board would change, but they didn't. They held tight and said, we'll start June 1.
So right
Whenever-
now, we're absorbing everything.
Yeah.
Whenever they,
At
if they're
the
back in
now.
full allotment, they're gonna take it, they're not going, they're just trying to conserve, make sure they have water during the hot part of summer.
No, I understand that, I'm just saying that
If you ever get up.
that trend's gonna continue even with full allocation. If we go on February 15th like we used to, they're not gonna go on February 15th. Hatch may, but it doesn't help us much with that, it's just a little, it helps us at the river a little, but it doesn't help us at the east, west. Your question was related to the east and west, operation of the east and west side canals, and as long as EPCWID's not taking water, then we're gonna suffer these huge losses. 17 miles, well, the sandiest, it's the west side canals over there by where the sand blew off the mesa. It's historically had a big problem with seepage. We've known about that for years and years. We've
There
done
was any
studies on it.
Stallman drilled all those wells right next to it.
He did. I was there one day when we went to test the well, and he actually went to work for the university there, and he actually told me, no, you can't test that with the way water to get out.
I mean, they-
I was testing efficiency, not
That was that
the.
Bill's,
Well, that was Dean Stallman.
was it Dean, I was gonna say his dad?
Yeah, Bill was
That's
there, but
30
Dean
years
was
ago,
still
so
alive.
it dates me, but-
40 years.
Hey, they don't play those games, man.
Yeah.
Since we're mentioning the west side and the upper valley, Robert and I have been flooded with complaints about the shut-off, and you all can imagine who. But anyway, we did get a demand for almost 1,000 acres earlier than what we thought, a week earlier, so we went ahead and ordered water and started irrigating about a week earlier than we were scheduled to. And we talked to their main representative up there and explained the situation to him, and he was still protesting it. But anyway, now he was complaining that we didn't give them enough time to put their fertilizer down. So it's been a no win for us. So Robert and I have been talking about just staying on maybe and not cutting off anymore. And I was talking with Indar this morning because he got some of those calls and explaining to him also how we were working it and how we intend to work it. And like I explained to that gentleman, that it's, we're trying to do the best for everyone and treat everyone the same and extend the irrigation season as long as we can. But it's been difficult. Right, Robert?
I know, we-
Right.
Give y'all something to do.
Yeah. So anyway, we've got that, so if we're looking at, curbing, we've been staying to our budget, and Robert's been doing a great job with that. The daily meetings, as Dan mentioned it, have worked great. And so,
Well, I've got, we've got a real tight budget for this month, so, I mean, if you don't have the demand, I don't see how you can keep it. If the 90% loss, you just can't do it.
yeah.
Well, I even told them,
That was,
shut
that
out
was,
for another few days, but I don't know.
that was the premise of.
So what are we
The
gonna
whole happened.
Well, I think it's
That's
manageable,
always-
you guys should stay in communication with them.
Yeah, and we have been,
I mean, all of us that know how to irrigate, we schedule, there's so few acres, it should actually be easier to do it this way, right? I mean, there's not that many acres up there to irrigate, and they should be able to coordinate it.
Right. We're trying to get them scheduled out on, when we turn on, all of
Everybody
them
watered it?
are on, right.
The premise that has always been the direction from this board, that I remember always. If the orders are not there, don't release the water.
Right. Yeah.
And that don't mean 1 acre, it's
Right.
gotta be the right amount. It's harsh sometimes, but it's the only way that you can manage through a drought, and it's always been that way. We've never changed that premise that I know.
So it's a judgment call, and you guys
Yeah,
just have to
you just
continue
have to
to try to group the acres together and water them when you get them.
I just wanted to make you all aware of it. So in case you guys get any calls, we are communicating with them, we stay in touch with them as much. Robert goes up there and drives around and visits with different people. And now even Pete's been going up there addressing some issues.
He drives around the place, he never stops at night, but
Oh, he done stuff?
West Beach.
Put him on that schedule, Robert.
But Robert, we don't make exceptions. I mean, we try to stay true with staying consistent and not making special, provisions. I mean, there's exceptions to the rule, obviously, but for the most part, like Johnny says, we have a policy
Try to treat
to
everybody
stay
the best we
everybody
can.
the best we can and as evenly as we can.
I mean, the only thing else we could do is drill more wells in the upper valley.
But the canal would take all the water.
Yeah, I'll take over. Shot Creek.
Well, I mean, you're using the three that we
You
have
have
to
to get a
help.
permit from state engineer, if they're
Well, they'll be in Texas. There'll be wells. They may be a few feet from the state line, but they're gonna be in
It's
Texas.
about saying you're stealing New Mexico water.
Well, you realize we pay for all the water we pump up there, we pay as allocation water, so we can drill as many wells as we want. It's just, efficiency of those, if you had enough, if you had a system like that down here, you would be able to do it.
All right, now, what's the rest of the report?
So the budget is, let me go over to down here. So the allocation budget is up on the screen. So there's four, we've got it set up at really 4 periods. So we were higher demand at first, and we're pretty much done with that. Robert have been for a couple of weeks, right?
Right.
And I can make that a little bit bigger if it'll help. But not that big.
Whoa.
So I should have fit the screen. I don't know why I did that, but I was doing better before. See if I can get it back. Okay, so 4 periods, since we started really to May 1st. Our allocation charges are 35,000. We have, right now we have a little less than, for this time period, a little around 180,000. I think the new allocation is 190, right?
183.
Yeah, 190. Yeah, I thought they curtailed that when they adjusted the conversion ratio went down. You didn't put the very last.
No, this was the last one that you,
I know, but we were on the phone, we changed it. You weren't on the phone.
okay.
So it went
Almost
down.
194.
That's not it, so it's just slightly less than that. Just got changed. Phil wanted to make an adjustment, I approved it. It was all right, it's not that, we're probably gonna go above 194 before it's all over. I mean, it's just a temporary thing. So we're in that low demand period, and we really have to manage this, so we're at sort of a minimal flow, I guess what you'd say. I mean, trying to get by with the least possible. So we have a real tight budget for this period. Then we go back into high demand, so that's, back to June when EPID comes on board. Part of that period, they're gonna shut down, and we're gonna be back to paying for all the losses again. I don't know when that is. I've been asking them to tell me how long they're gonna run, so I can reserve some water for that. Pretty much everything we're getting in now in allocation, and I think everything we do get, we need to hold back to cover that end of the year when we pay for all the losses, both river and east and west side. We pay right now we're just paying the east and west, and they pro rata on the river, but we'll pay for the whole thing towards the end. And then we'll go back, we're gonna try to extend our target dates, and our budgets are by the 15th, so we're gonna, typically it's fairly low demand that time, just depends on the weather, especially if there's monsoons. So right now, we did barely meet that, and I need the extra water for the allocation to pay the losses during the end of the period, so we don't have any room to, it's tight. We can do it though, you guys asked us
And
to
we
do
do
it.
run our wells as often as we need
As
to.
soon as the demand comes up, he turns
Yes,
them on.
we turn them on, and
Is that 10,000 with the wells now, or is that without?
That,
That's
this
just
is,
river water?
this is
Just river
allocation
water.
water,
Okay.
sorry, the title's.
All right,
just
that's
the
10,000
allocation,
just-
but, yeah, it's just project water.
September is 10,000 acre feet project, okay.
Right, for those 2 weeks, that'd be about 20,000 for the.
Yeah, that is gonna be tight, I think.
Well, and we may move water, we'll try to conserve over this heavy use period, and move it into that one, but, that's only a 2-week period. Historically, it's been pretty low demand, isn't it?
Really? Okay.
Well, actually, usually that's October for us, not September.
Yeah.
But we'll just have to see what, if monsoons, like last year, we got hit that time period. But
You never know.
You never know. But we gotta make it work. I mean, if we don't, if we have real high demand, if high demand extends, then we're gonna have to shut off early. It's not, I wouldn't say early, because we told everybody the possibility at all the meetings that that we might only make it to the first. Our goal is to make it 2 weeks longer. But, there's too many unpredictables. I don't think it'll be a problem. I think we're doing an excellent job. It was a really hard, I was nervous about this first high demand period, about how much water we were gonna actually consume of our allocation to get through this because of all the losses we have to pay for. And, I think we did right on budget. 35 is what I had budgeted, so.
I did 30, but, I didn't foresee the west side and east side so high,
Yeah.
but it still came out pretty good.
Well, some of that is because of what, we had an operational issue when we did the initial release. There was no way around it. It was on the 30th. I guess the release got moved up from the target. We couldn't slow the water down. So we actually had to pay for all the losses on one day of the operating agreement. So that was another 3,000 acre feet that.
That's what you referred to.
But those things happen. We were trying to thread a needle, and so the water got here, and so what was our choice was to get into a big feud with EPID over the operating agreement, or just the plain language operating said that, hey, if we started taking diversions before Mexico did, Mexico, we tried to get them to come on board on the 30th, they did come on one day early on the 31st, so that got us out of that conflict. But there was one day that since the water got here early, that we were charged the full release from the reservoir according to the operator, which is all right. I mean, that's, you know, I'm glad he didn't get here 2 days early.
170 miles,
Yeah.
170 miles up there.
You know, yeah, to get it, we did try to slow it down. It was, the river was just, for whatever, for a good reason, the river was a little faster this year than usual. And so, that's, and there's another section, which you guys probably, don't really care too much about. We care a lot about it for, our EBID really cares a lot, and the reclamation, it has to do with the diversion ratio and the impact of the early release this year. You know, EBID was, and there's been a lot of discussion at their board meetings, I know, from Dr. King, and concern, and he's taken over for Wayne Triers a little bit, in terms of doom and gloom. They call him Dr. Doom. So, that the possibility was that because we were releasing and we're extending the seepage period for the river, and a significant amount of that would be, under the operating agreement, would be, since it was incurred by the groundwater pumping in New Mexico, that they would have to offset that up there, and it's the way it was supposed to work.
Are they taking their share of water? Mexico,